Today I am super excited to be telling all of you guys about the Folio Society's 50-year anniversary edition of Frank Herbert's Dune. So, Dune is without a doubt one of the most important and influential science fiction stories ever told, as well as one of the most unique. It doesn't just talk about, how this one piece of technology will save mankind or destroy mankind or, watch out for Big Brother. This is a very complex, wheels within wheels dynamic that really mirrors Shakespeare more than it mirrors, Asimov. So Dune was originally published in 1965 by a company called Chilton, which totally took a chance because they were actually an automotive manual company before they did any kind of actual book publishing, but it paid off because Dune was a huge hit. Even today, the first edition Dune copies can score you huge bucks, over $10,000. It spawned a bunch of sequels, and it was even the first ever prize winner of the Nebula Award for Best Novel. It also got a film adaptation in the 80s that was, horrible.
He who controls the spice controls the universe!
After 50 years of different publishers later, the Folio Society has now released this special edition copy, which is absolutely breathtaking. The book itself is gorgeous. You can just look at it. The lettering is amazing, the cover's amazing. If all that wasn't enough, there's an intro by Michael Dirda, who's a Pulitzer Prize winner, and there's an afterword by Brian Herbert, who's actually Frank Herbert's son. So there's that. And if all of that isn't enough to sway you, this book comes with full-color illustrations by artist Sam Weber. The images and the image quality is freaking amazing. My personal favorite in the whole book is this one, which it's just so freaking beautiful. The page quality itself is amazing, and seriously, there is no reason you shouldn't buy this book. It's excellent. You better get it quick. The story of Dune follows the lives of Paul and Jessica Atreides, a mother and son who travel to the distant planet of Arrakis, where they're faced with treachery and the harshest ecosystem imaginable, and the awakening of their inner power. Along the way, we as the audience experience the scale and detail of Frank Herbert's mythical world and become totally enveloped in the sands of the desert and the secrets that all men carry. You have huge core concepts in this book, like ecology and the importance of life and how it can radically change an environment just by being there. You've also got this huge deal about religion and power and how religion has such an intense hold on people, which is really interesting, and it doesn't talk about it in a bad way. Frank Herbert himself said that religion is a good thing if it tries to make you a better person. It's only when it's in the hands of the powerful that it ever becomes an issue. Frank Herbert was really big on religious philosophy and had a lot of admiration for things like Zen Buddhism, Islam, and Christianity. These three in particular are easily reflected in the religions of the Duneverse, but also they're central to the story. Another big point in Dune is this whole idea of a modern mythology. If you've read your Joseph Campbell, you know that mythologies around the world have these kind of repeating patterns, especially when it comes to heroes. Dune lends itself to a lot of mythological tales like Oedipus and Beowulf, and to the uninitiated it can go right over your head. How about a mystical spice that gives you mental powers, or witches who can use their voice to command you into doing anything they want? I can't think of another science fiction story out there that might, take mythological aspects and put them in a science fiction setting. Those witches with the voice control.
Identification.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
How about magic spice?
What are we going to do? We'll be sent to the spice mines of Kessel or smashed into who knows what.
Or or maybe a desert planet with 2 moons. Okay, well, close enough. The top dog of all science fiction is, in essence, a birth child of Dune. Dune itself is the first science fiction novel to develop science fantasy, and because of its incredible detail and pretty much universal themes, it accomplishes everything that a great myth is supposed to do to a culture. There is so much cool stuff in Dune, and I'd like to tell you all about it, so I will over the next couple of videos in this series. But I highly recommend that you get your own copy of Dune today so that you can get started on this incredible journey. Unfortunately, the 2 theatrical/cinematic versions of Dune are just not up to par with the book, and by God, that David Lynch version is so freaking terrible. It just can't be beat. Dune has strong women, politics, society, religion, ecology, everything. It is the most awesome and my absolute favorite science fiction story of all time. You need to pick it up right now. I've left a link below to the Folio Society's website so that you can get your own copy of the special edition of Dune there. They also have a ton of other books, like every single book you could freaking think of, they have it in a special edition. They're an amazing company. The quality is top notch. It even comes with this kind of like book jacket thing, which is really nifty. It's a like metallic print, and it's just freaking awesome. The whole thing, it's worth every single penny. It's stuff like this that makes Dune live on, and the voice of Frank Herbert can now travel across time through this beautiful copy. Alright guys, I hope you like this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and get your own copy of Folio Society's 50-year anniversary edition of Dune. You should also check out all my other Dune videos, which are gonna be really cool. I'm not so much going into the story of Dune itself, but I'm kind of introducing you to all of the elements and some of the characters and some of the philosophy, so that you can kind of go in with a level head. Because this book is pretty dense. It's not an easy thing to do. There's a reason why Arthur C. Clarke called it the Lord of the Rings of science fiction. Alright guys, I'll see you next time, and be sure to snag your copy of Folio Society's version of Dune.